So talk to me about, is there anything to worry about from where you sit, how you interpret this? Is there anything to worry about?
Yeah, I think for me, it leaves it to imagination what the government might use with all these power they have. Because in essence, the IME number, if it's linked to the mobile network operator, it can be linked to me in that I already have a SIM registered to the same mobile network operator.
Right.
So in a sense, they'll know, they'll even know the type of phone I'm using, basically, because the IME gives the identification of the full device and everything. So if Anthony buy an iPhone 16 tomorrow and do not pay tax on it, or you have other compliance issues, they'll be able to go to your mobile operator and be like, pull up Anthony's records. This is the phone he bought. Okay, it's him. We can guarantee that's him. Oh yeah, that SIM is registered to him, and that SIM is put on a phone so and so. So it leaves the questions around, will they abuse the data they have, especially when we start going into personal data, and that's where the Data Protection Acts come in. We might even see some challenges. People might already imagine these things and try move ahead and try block, because effectively the government will have eyes on us, noting that almost each one of us is tied to a phone, so they can almost see you move around and whether you're tax compliant and whatnot. So I think from that perspective, it raises a lot of questions. And also, like we were having the discussion earlier, is this whole it presents, there's a bigger picture to all these, like we had the discussion on, and it's, remember them coming for pay bills and tills and stuff like that, and trying to make sure that those who are supposed to pay VAT are liable, and they will now link again the till numbers, the pay bill numbers, and the pouches, even they can have sight on these. Now imagine they can still go back to the same devices, so any payment done by device so and they couldn't see the tax on that, it's easy, they come again for you. So it will be interesting to see how much can they push, because they will have that data, they'll have that power with them. It's how much they can push and how much within their legal boundaries. We know these are things that can be challenging.
Exactly. Very important, because also the Office of the Data Protection protects us from that. You know, the communication itself, has it given the sort of assurance that your data is not going to be abused, which is very, very important. Also, the communication is very important, because now if you leave it hanging, now it will leave room for the imagination. Do you feel like the communication has given enough assurance that don't worry, everything is just good, we're just trying to nab tax evaders, or is this something subject to wait and see?
Again, going back again also to even previous conversations we've had, I think we were joking about the Finance Act and its rejection. You feel there's room for more communication to be done, either by KRA or the Communication Authority, because as we approach that November 1 deadline, not everyone will know that a phone that was already on the network, bought and purchased and in your hands, won't be affected. But until they put that message out better, and like you said, a lot of the lingo and jargon is on those releases. We need to see maybe perhaps more communication coming from them, whether it's speaking to people like yourself, CA can come out and speak to yourself and speak to your to audiences out there, and people get to understand that this is what's happening, this is what we are targeting, not these. So there's still more room, because again, communication, part of some of the challenges we've seen in the past, like with the finance bill and the new taxes, was just lack of communication on what it means. And you leave the room for interpretation, and whenever people can't explain something, they'll try come up with their own explanations to try figure it out. And that's where then you open the room for either someone who has any malice to create misinformation and ride on that wave of the information gap to really, to represent something that's what's actually not. So it would be interesting to see if more communication is made. I was actually looking at when 1st November is. That's, I believe that's next Saturday. Next week on Saturday. So basically there's about just over a week or so from tomorrow. So it would be interesting to see the kind of communication, maybe even some of the things we've discussed, if they can come out and elaborate more, or maybe we won't be touching on personal data all. I'll just have the AME number and the identification and the tax compliance for the device without really connecting it to the person. Because you would imagine if they would have a list of Muli, you are there, Kefa, you are there, we can see these phones you guys bought are not registered. Can you imagine? You really wouldn't want that information out there, especially that can link you back to you as yourself. And that's when, like you said, the data protection office comes in. And it would be interesting to see if such challenges arise and people get suing and you know, lawyers are involved. What would be the interpretation? It would also call for some interpretation from that end.
Absolutely, very interesting. So between now and 1st of November, let's just hope that they're going to make it even more concise. They will elaborate further, so we know that there's like a boundary. This is not going to be touched. This is going to be touched. Thank you so much, Kefa. Looking forward to engaging you in future when we have